Chapter 1 of In the Days of Giants. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Arup Sen. In the Days of Giants by Abbie Farwell Brown. The Beginning of Things. The oldest stories of every race of people tell about the beginning of things. But the various folk who first told them were so different. The tales are so very old, and have changed so greatly in the telling from one generation to another, that there are almost as many accounts of the way in which the world began as there are nations upon the earth. So it is not strange that the people of the north have a legend of the beginning quite different from that of the southern, eastern, and western folk. This book is made of the stories told by the northern folk, the people who live in the land of the midnight sun, where summer is green and pleasant, but winter is a terrible time of cold and gloom, where rocky mountains tower like huge giants, over whose heads the thunder rolls and crashes, and under whose feet are mines of precious metals. Therefore you will find the tales full of giants and dwarfs, spirits of the cold mountains and dark caverns. You will find the hero to be Thor, with his thunderbolt hammer, who dwells in the happy heaven of Asgard, where All-Father Odin is king, and where Balder the beautiful makes springtime with his smile. In the north countries, winter, cold, and frost are very real and terrible enemies, while spring, sunshine, and warmth are near and dear friends. So the story of the beginning of things is a story of cold and heat, of the wicked giants who loved the cold, and of the good Aesir, who baked in pleasant warmth. In the very beginning of things, the stories say, there were two worlds, one of the burning heat and one of icy cold. The cold world was in the north, and from it flowed LibriVox, a river of poisonous water which hardened into ice and piled up into great mountains, filling the space which had no bottom. The other world in the south was on fire with bright flame, a place of heat most terrible. And in those days, through all space, there was nothing beside these two worlds of heat and cold. But then began a fierce combat. Heat and cold met and strove to destroy each other, as they have tried to do ever since. Flaming sparks from the hot world fell upon the ice river, which flowed from the place of cold. And though the bright sparks were quenched, in dying they wrought mischief, as they do today. For they melted the ice, which dripped and dripped like tears from the suffering world of cold. And then, wonderful to say, these chilly drops became alive, became a huge breathing mass, a frost giant, with a wicked heart of ice. And he was the ancestor of all the giants who came afterwards, a bad and cruel race. At that time there was no earth, nor sea, nor heaven, nothing but the icy abyss without bottom, whence Ymir the giant had sprung. And there he lived, nourished by the milk of a cow which the heat had formed. Now the cow had nothing for her food but the snow and ice of LibriVox, and that was cold victuals indeed. One day she was licking the icy rocks, which tasted salty to her, when Ymir noticed that the mass was taking a strange shape. The more the cow licked it, the plainer became the outline of the shape. And when evening came, Ymir saw thrusting itself through the icy rock a head of hair. The next day the cow went on with her meal, and at night time a man's head appeared above the rock. On the third day the cow licked away the ice, until forth stepped a man,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?